Today, well actually tomorrow, it's time to make a big decision. There are a few things I need to talk about regarding this, but I'll get to them actually quite soon, because we'll soon get our main opportunity to save on this day. Thankfully, it's a school holiday, so you do actually get the opportunity to save in the dorm. Man, Persona 5's letting you save anywhere outside of a dungeon is actually really convenient, but in this game, you can only save at very specific times. I should mention, there's actually unique dialogue if you try and go to bed early tonight, or today, rather. But, of course, we're not doing that, because despite this being a very, very important plot day, we still have a social link to do, unfortunately. So, I'll just kind of want to get that done quickly, and just... I would like to sell some stuff at the shops, but I feel like I can do that later. For now, I just want to keep this video as contained to the story events as possible. And now it's not apathy syndrome, it's the apathy syndrome. But anyway, everyone here has unique dialogue. Ike's is made up her mind. Koromaru's probably determined. Junpei's anxious to get it all over with. Mitsuru knows her answer. Yukari does too. Ken is sure. Akihiko? Well, yeah, that metaphor makes a lot of sense in this case. And then Fuka, who's quite easy to miss because she's all the way over here. She knows too. Everyone is ready. Now, here, if you're going to go out and do a social link today, this is your last opportunity to save before the decision happens. And why am I saying this? Well, it's probably obvious, but this is the point where there's the split between the good and bad ending. Unlike in Persona 4, however, how to avoid the bad ending is extremely obvious. You pretty much will only get the bad ending in this game if you specifically choose it. So if you're curious, it might be a good idea to make a save here, but I will warn you about something. I highly recommend not going for the bad ending if it's your first playthrough, and you're playing along with this series. I will be showing the bad ending as a separate video, but I will be cutting out some things. I feel like certain aspects of the bad ending actually spoil some things, namely the credits. Persona 4 and 5 both use different credits and different credits music for their bad endings. Persona 3 uses the same credits theme as the good ending, and I feel like that song has so much more impact if you hear it for the first time at the real ending of the game. Oh yeah, once you go out of the dorm, yeah, the moment that you go back in the dorm, it'll be the decision. But yeah, pretty much, do not go for the bad ending if it's your first playthrough, because I do feel like that it does spoil a little bit. Like I said, I will be doing a video of the bad ending, which will be okay to watch, because I'll be cutting out the credits. So, we are seeing Moon once again, this time with a much beefier matching persona. So we have Seth now, rather than just Gur. Oh, well, we've been to the ramen shop quite a lot. It seems to be the place for everyone. And yeah, apologies to you if Gary still was a bit distracted during the social link, but, I mean, he's got a big choice to make tonight. Yeah, just doing everything to pass the time until it comes, really. And being in a ramen shop and counting numbers makes me think of Spirit of Justice's 4th case now. Huh. What is that? Oh no, it's happening again, isn't it? And that's funny seeing as I was just talking about that last time. But yes, he is obviously referring to Alien. Even people who haven't seen that movie probably know what that's referring to. And once again, you have to give a very similar response to one of the earlier ranks. Are you feeling sick? No, we think that just because you threw up, you're sick. Okay then. This wouldn't, oh, that doesn't sound good. This wouldn't happen to be related to that, conversation you were having with that guy before, would it? Yeah, things are starting to take a pretty ominous turn here. We've now crossed the halfway point of the Moon Arcana. To think that before this week we're only rank 1, and now we're suddenly rank 6. And we're actually going to be doing one more very soon. It's kind of weird that they pretty much put off Moon until one of the last possible moments, but... And I'm surprised they sell porridge here. But anyway, yeah, it makes a lot of sense they'd put this off until the very last moment, because not a lot of people like the social link. But now, on to more relevant things.
Hey, long time no see. Midnight's just around the corner. At midnight, I will change from this form into something unrecognizable. So, have you reached a decision? Okay, I'll be waiting in his room until midnight. Come see me when you have your answer.
Ryoji-kun.
Oh, and one more thing. Don't let the fact that you'll have to kill me influence your decision. As I said before, I'm going to disappear anyways. I won't feel any pain by dying. So there's no need to worry about me. I'll be waiting.
Have you made your decision? I see. Have the rest of you made your decision?
No need to ask me.
You know how I feel.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't on board.
I'm with the rest of you. I'm in too. I have made my decision as well.
Then we're all in agreement, yes?
Better let him know then. Okay?
Hey. It's been a long time since we talked like this in your room. Although back then, I didn't appear in this form, and wasn't known by this name. Don't tell me you've all decided to let me live. You're all going to risk your lives on a battle you can't win. But you're the only one here right now, so... I'll say this one more time. If you kill me, Tartarus, the Dark Hour, and your memories of the battles will all disappear. Tomorrow, you'll wake up a normal high school student. You'll be able to live in peace until the moment of the fall. But if you let me live, you'll spend every waking moment until that day in fear of your inevitable death. Nyx cannot be defeated. It's useless to fight her. Are you still thinking? Or have you already made up your mind?
Either we let Ryoji live and face a seemingly undefeatable foe in hopes of saving the world, or kill him, erase all our memories of everything that's happened, lose all of the friendships developed, everything we've been through, all of our trials, challenges, make Shinjiro and Chidori's sacrifices for nothing, and betray the wishes of the rest of the team. I think it should be obvious which is the right decision here.
I guess my words didn't change your mind. There's still some time until midnight. I didn't want to have to show you this, but I have no choice.
See? I'm not human. I will bring death to this world until I am finally satiated. Do not hesitate to kill me. I want you to think about this carefully. Is facing Nyx really the best decision? Right now, you are all confused by the truth. But some things in this world cannot be changed. You do not understand this yet. Memories are ambiguous. Old ones can be replaced with new ones, creating a new reality. Don't you want to end all your friends' pain and suffering? It's up to you. You're the only one who can make this decision. Now, this is your last chance. Tell me your answer.
Trying to pull the I'm not human so it's okay to kill me card. That's still not going to change anything. Killing you is not only betraying everyone's wishes, it's gonna doom the world to inevitable destruction. There's no way we'd choose that.
I understand. It's regrettable, but it's your life. You can do what you want with it. I will respect your decision. Let's go back to the lounge. I need to tell you guys how to confront Nyx.
Yo, what's up, Ryoji?
It's an unfortunate decision, but it is yours to make.
That's right.
But you can't defeat Nyx. It's impossible.
But we must still try.
Personally, I don't care if it is impossible.
I understand. It's almost midnight, so I'll keep this brief. I'll tell you where to find Nyx. She'll be at Tartarus. You must reach the top of the tower before the promised day.
When's the promised day?
Exactly 1 month from tomorrow. January 31st, 2010. Nyx will descend to Tartarus, and the world will end. If you go to the top of Tartarus on that day, you'll be able to face her. The tower exists for the purpose of Nyx's coming. As the appriser, I usher Nyx into this world, and Tartarus welcomes her arrival.
The tower exists for the purpose of Nyx's coming. That's why it's called the Tower of Demise. So if we reach the top, we can fight Nyx?
Yes, but remember, from today you will fight against eternal despair. Like I've said so many times before, Nyx cannot be defeated. When you face her, you will finally understand this truth. And then you will realize what it is you are trying to stand against.
We understand. There's no need to keep telling us. January 31st. We won't forget that date.
Well, I'll be going on ahead of you then. I want to leave you while I'm still in this form.
Ryoji-kun.
Aegis, I'm sorry for all the pain and suffering I put you through.
I won't forget that you were my enemy and my friend.
I guess.
Thank you. This will probably be the last time I'll see you all like this. But I'll always be watching over you. Well, goodbye. Best wishes in the coming year. That's what you say on New Year's Eve, right? See ya.
That Ryoji.
With that, our fool's journey has reached its end. The bond we started with this team, it's reached its maximum level, and we can now create Susano-o, the Raging God. Susano-o is the Japanese god of summer and storms, and the brother of the sun goddess Amaterasu and the moon god Tsukuyomi. The three of them were born from Izanagi, when he washed himself after his journey to the underworld. Amaterasu was born from his left eye, Tsukuyomi from his right eye, and Susano-o from his nose. Susano-o had a long-standing rivalry with his sister Amaterasu, and one day after getting angry from essentially losing a bet to her, he basically lost it and destroyed her rice field, killed one of her attendants, and as a result he was banished from heaven, and Amaterasu shut herself behind the heavenly rock cave. After being cast down to earth though, Susano-o eventually redeemed himself by slaying the eight-headed serpent Orochi. And if you're familiar with the game Okami, you probably know this part of the story already. Susano-o's status as the ultimate persona of the Fool Arcana in this game is a reference to how he was often depicted as a trickster god in mythology, and his fusion spell is a reference to that as well. Though Susano-o is quite versatile, he's appeared in many games in the series, and his Arcana has changed in all of them. He was Chariot in Persona 1 and 2, Fool in this game, Magician in Persona 4, an appearance that a lot of people are probably more familiar with and might be surprised to find out he was just a regular persona in this one. And in 5, well, I won't spoil that. In terms of gameplay, I should first mention that Susano-o requires a special fusion. He needs to be fused by using all of the other personas of the Fool Arcana, including Black Frost, who itself is a special fusion. This naturally does limit the kinds of skills that Susano-o can inherit, but seeing as full personas can inherit any skill to begin with, there are still quite a lot of options for him if you really take the time to fuse things. In some ways, Susano-o's skill set can be described as a better version of Siegfried's. The only thing Siegfried really has over him is that Susano-o lacks Arms Master, but Susano-o gets Vorpal Blade and also Brave Blade, a very powerful single-targeting slash attack, as well as Regenerate 3 to help fuel those physical attacks. Tetrakan is also a pretty nice ability and not one you see very often on personas. He also has a pretty respectable 1 immunity and 2 resistances at base, and he'll eventually learn another immunity. Weakness to light is a bit annoying though, but at this point in the game, it's definitely a possibility to get null light onto him. The light weakness is probably a reference to Amaterasu now that I think about it. The only real dud skill here is Fast Retreat. I personally don't find that skill very useful. Susano-o also has a fusion spell, Trickster. No relation to Persona 5 here. Trickster combines the powers of two famous trickster gods, him and Loki, to inflict random status ailments on all enemies. It is a bit unreliable as some status ailments are definitely better than others, and if you want to inflict charm more easily, Incubus and Succubus's fusion spell is a little better, but in a pinch this one can definitely save you. I should mention this skill got a pretty significant buff in FES. In the vanilla version it could potentially inflict random ailments on you as well as the enemy. It does not do that anymore, don't worry. So in general, Susano-o is a pretty good persona to use, especially since being the ultimate persona of a plot-based social link, you will always have access to him no matter what. Well, unless you get the bad ending, that is. But that's not all. The Judgment Arcana has been born. What starts with Fool ends with Judgment, the culmination of the Fool's journey. The Judgment Arcana represents a significant turning point in an individual's life, the moment where they've reached an epiphany and finally found their true calling and true purpose in the world. It's a moment where they look back on all the challenges they've been through over the course of their journey, represented by each of the other major arcana. Everything has led up to this, and it's all finally paid off. In fact, some tarot decks even have a motif of a river that's seen in the background of every other major arcana artwork. The artwork for the Judgment Arcana shows this river finally connecting to the sea. This represents not only an awakening and the end of a journey, but also a new beginning. The card itself also contains a lot of symbolism of Judgment Day, the dead rising from their graves to be born again. It's fitting that in the Persona series, the Judgment Arcana is usually the last one the protagonist acquires, and it almost always signifies the beginning of the final act of the story, and a point where the main party has finally found their true purpose. In fact, in both Persona 3 and 4, the Judgment Arcana only begins immediately after the player avoids the bad ending. And it also begins right after Fool maxes out. The Judgment Arcana in that case could be said to be the party's true arcana. If Fool represents infinite possibilities, Judgment is where those possibilities have finally paid off. So, in this game, the Judgment Arcana represents the Nyx Annihilation Team, the new identity of Seas in this final act of the game, as they resolve to fight against fate and defeat Nyx. Judgment is a plot-based social link, but it's a very unique one. Instead of ranking up automatically at story points, this one ranks up as you explore the final block of Tartarus. At certain floor milestones it'll rank up, and after defeating each boss it'll rank up. It'll max out once you reach the final barricade before Nyx herself. But depending on how quickly you go through this block of Tartarus, you can actually raise this link very quickly in the space of a single day. In fact, it's actually possible to max it out within one visit. And naturally, being the final arcana you get, well, final barring a certain one that was added in FES, personas of the Judgment Arcana are very, very powerful. Mythology-wise, all of them are figures associated with Judgment Day or the Judgment of the Dead. They all specialize in powerful almighty attacks, some of them also having a balance of both light and dark skills. But in general, these personas are always some of the strongest in the game in terms of raw power and the abilities they learn. Definitely recommended that you fuse these when you get the chance, because they are insanely strong. Also insanely high level though. You'll need to be very, very late into the game to fuse some of these. I should just quickly mention that Lucifer here was a new addition in FES. In the vanilla version, he was the ultimate persona of the Star Arcana and essentially was Hallel. FES added a different version of Lucifer to the Judgment Arcana. And then we come to the actual ultimate persona of this Arcana. They're a very special one for a lot of reasons, and you'll always have access to them due to Judgment being guaranteed to max out. So, I'll talk about them much later, but definitely look forward to it. So now we have a new year, and in only 1 month, we have the battle of our lives, of everyone's lives. A lot happened, and it's a good thing we didn't forget it all. So let's move into the new year.
Happy New Year, Senpai. Let's make this the best year ever. It's New Year's, but there's nothing really special to do.
Well, you can always wish people a New Year's greeting. Like, have a great year.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, Koro.
Oh man, I completely overslept. Why'd I stay up all night watching that stupid movie? Did you guys see it? It had these giant Amazon women running around in the jungle.
Why would I watch that?
Is anyone gonna visit the shrine?
No, I don't believe in superstitions.
Me either.
Oh, that's too bad. Yukari-san and the others are already there. They're all wearing kimonos.
Kimonos, huh? I'm gonna run to the store.
Hold it right there, Junpei.
I like how he actually says more than the subtitles say at that point.
What?
You're going to the shrine, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm just going for a walk.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm going with you then. I'm bored.
Oh, I'll go too.
All right then, let's go. You coming?
Anyone know where it is?
Well, we've been there pretty much all game, so, yeah.
Yeah, the girls told me the directions.
Weren't you at the shrine earlier in the game? It's actually kind of weird. That doesn't really make a lot of sense if you need to get the directions.
Sweet.
Gary Sue, I think you're a bad influence on Ken. I still love how him and Koromaru interact in that scene, though. More foreshadowing of Ultimax.
Happy New Year!
Let's all do our very best this year. Hey, you guys are late. We were just about to leave.
Yucatan.
What?
Happy New Year. What's the matter, Yori?
Mitsuru-senpai, you look hot. I mean...
Stop staring at me.
I've never worn a kimono before. Does my sash look okay?
Fuka, you look... Wow!
Jeez. This traditional clothing is quite interesting. However, it's difficult to move in.
I'm so glad I came. New Year's kicks ass. Yeah!
Junpei-san, why are you acting so strange?
Man, we got to see some great stuff today. Right, Akihiko-senpai?
I guess so.
Hey, aren't you guys cold?
A little, but I love this time of year.
That's not what I meant. Junpei-san said that you guys aren't wearing anything underneath your kimonos.
He said what?
Ow!
And so, Junpei gets owned again. I had to keep some traditions into the new year. Let me just mention that that song is amazing. Seriously, one of my absolute favorite songs in this entire game, and that's really saying something. I just had to let that play.
Who did you wish for, Fuka?
I wished for a great year. It's a bit generic, but that's what I really want.
That's what I want as well.
How funny. We all wished for the same thing.
But it wasn't a plea for help. I know that we'll be victorious.
We should get going.
And we also get a call from Elizabeth to inform us of new areas in Tartarus, obviously. That's probably the fastest that she's ever informed us of a change, which is interesting seeing as the last area was so huge. Normally you have to wait a few weeks before you get the opportunity to explore the next area, but no. The path is open to us right now. Makes sense since we made that decision. We now have access to the final block of Tartarus, and here's what I was going to mention before. We have new music in the dorm now. That's a mystery. More great dialogue options. That's what Gary Stu thinks. Yeah, what Mitsuru said, we should definitely take that to heart. Yeah, I agree with Igus in a lot of ways. This song is called Living with Determination, by the way. A pretty fitting name. So if we check the calendar now, I just wanted to point something out. If we go to the 31st, come on guys, you couldn't have marked that as something more positive, like the day we beat Nyx or the day we save everyone? Seriously. We've also got a public holiday at one point. But yes, here's where things get kind of interesting though. This is indeed the final month of the game, if the new music in both the town and the dorm wasn't any indication. That next 30, these are the last 30 days that we have left. There is plenty of time to max out our remaining social links in that time, and while I'm on that, I should probably show the new one we just started, and the fact that Full is now maxed. Judgment, the Nyx Annihilation team. So, that's at rank 1, and that's new. We're at rank 6 with Moon, rank 8 with Sun, and at, I believe, yes, rank 6 with Empress. There's also one more social link that we haven't started yet, as strange as that might seem. But we do start that one very, very soon. But almost everything else is maxed out. We do have enough time. However, there's actually quite a lot that I plan on doing in Tartarus between now and the end of the game. And because of that, I'm really going to think about how I structure the videos from now on. I'm going to need to be frequenting Tartarus much more than usual. There isn't all that much to do in this block, it's not that big, but there's other stuff that we do need to do, and the main reason why I'm thinking this actually is because of weapon fusions. There's quite a few weapon fusions that I at least want to show before the end of the game, and each of them takes 2 days in the antique store, so I'm going to want to plan things out so that I have enough time to actually make those, and that is in fact going to take quite a while. So what I'm actually thinking is, I might go to Tartarus right now, tonight, immediately after all that's happened. I think we need to get started on this section of Tartarus as soon as possible. Because we are running out of time.